What just happened? Tennessee lost to South Carolina last night, 38-63 was the final score in Williams-Brice. If you're a Tennessee fan today, I'll run that back. If you're a college football fan today and you saw this final score, you're saying, what in the world went down in that ball game between Tennessee and South Carolina? There's a lot of ways to slice this and dice this, and we could probably go into the X's and O's and the analytics and all that, and maybe we'll do that at some point later this year, maybe later this week. Here is the most distilled version of what I saw happen on the field last night. You had Tennessee have their worst day defensively just happened to fall on South Carolina's absolute best day offensively. That sounds simplistic, but we've talked about it a lot with Tennessee and how they're really good offensively, and the Tennessee defense is maybe a little bit skewed numbers-wise with what you see from them and what they've had statistically up against them because they score so much, on the field so much. Bottom line, that was what it came down to. You had your worst day fall on South Carolina's best day. Now, here's the question I would ask for you. If you're a Tennessee fan, do you truly believe that South Carolina as a program is 25 points better? Meaning, if you ran that back 10 times, would you get a consistent result? Maybe it's not 25 points, but it's 3 scores, apparently 4 scores. Do you really believe in your heart of hearts that's what the reality is if you're a Tennessee fan? I don't know. And that's where I think we got to start. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, we'd love to have you. Follow me on social media as well, on Twitter and Instagram at JDPiquel. Like I was already saying, the Achilles heel of your team is the secondary. We knew that going in. That wasn't a huge surprise to anybody. Now, the reality is, though, when you allow 453 yards passing on a night and 12 yards of completion, you're probably not going to win that football game. And that's not to knock the Tennessee secondary too much, but that's just the reality. There are some things that have to get shored up, whether it's personnel, whether it's scheme, some things that have to get shored up on the back end of that secondary. Because what we had seen so far from Tennessee was, yes, the secondary has issues. We saw it even in wins for this program. But the offense was consistently able to offset those issues that they had. They were able to still score 40 or 50, whatever it ended up being, and that would be enough to win the game. Now, last night, the offense didn't play poorly. Don't get it twisted. You scored around 38 points. I understand some of that is at the end of the game where it's not as crucial, but the offense did not have a bad night. They just didn't have as good a night to make up for what you didn't bring in the secondary. Again, that's not novel analysis, but I'm just telling you what went down. Now, you sincerely, regardless of rooting interest, you hope and pray that Hendon Hooker is okay. At the time of us recording this, we don't have any intel as to the nature of his injury, but our thoughts and prayers are with Hendon Hooker and hope that he is able to return at all this season, or at the very least hope that his professional career is not impacted by this. Again, hoping that injury isn't serious or career ending, or I'll even take that back, even season ending. Here's the big picture, though. When you talk about Tennessee, here's the thing that we have to take a step back. And when the dust all settles on this 25-point loss that absolutely nobody saw coming, I mean, South Carolina was 20-plus point underdogs in this game. Here's what I think the takeaways are. The Josh Heupel program, Josh Heupel's Tennessee, is still developing. And we said it last week when they beat Missouri soundly, but everybody wants to be so excited about this house that Josh Heupel's built because the electricity is awesome. There is, great plumbing. The interior looks awesome. You have great appliances. A lot of things about this operation are really exciting and really encouraging. Now, to the same token, it's year 2. All right, just the second year under Josh Heupel. So what does that mean for the house? Yes, it looks nice, but guess what? The foundation for what it's going to be is still being laid. So when you look at the secondary and you say, well, why do we have problems in the secondary? Well, in year 2, I know you have the transfer portal available to you, but the reality is you're still acquiring the personnel to compete at the level that you expect. Now, do you think you're going to get there? I think so. I think there's going to be a lot of people, whether it's in the portal or on the recruiting trail or at the high school level, there's a lot of people that I think will want to play for Tennessee going forward with what Josh Heupel is building. It's just probably going to take a second. But the good news is you've got a lot of things built in to where you can be successful in a really short amount of time, especially on the offensive side. Now, the reason this hurts so much, if you're a Tennessee fan, is the reality that you had a really good shot to make a run at this thing because of who you had at quarterback. Hendon Hooker, for a lot of people's money, the best quarterback in the country, and he's going to the NFL next year. Like, I know that's not, announced or anything, but like common knowledge says he's going to go play for one of 32 NFL teams. And you don't know what the offense will look like 100% next year. Joe Milton, I'm not going to say he can't be great for Tennessee and they can't still score a lot of points, but you felt so excited about the potential and what was achievable because of what Hendon Hooker brought to the table. So the second thing that I think we have to talk about as this program develops is the psyche. Now, the psyche is strong. Don't get it twisted. They have been really, really effective and businesslike going into different games, especially Alabama. Like, they were just transactional, business as usual. I mean, mature beyond their years. Far more mature than a year two team should be. Now, the next step for them is that road psyche, because this is now the second time where we've seen them go to a hostile environment. First, Athens, Georgia, and last night in Willie B, and have that external environment impact the way they played. Was it the reason they lost by 25? Probably more than just that goes into it, but you could see watching the game, the crowd impacted Tennessee. So the good news is that's the next step that I think they're going to take because of what Josh Heupel is as a head coach. Now, teams take on the persona of who their head coach is. And Josh Heupel is calm, he is confident, he is collected, and he is businesslike in how he goes about his work. He doesn't let the external impact him. He's very confident. And there's a lot of pieces of this Tennessee team already that embody that. But I think it is a process to have that be a team-wide thing. And I do think they're going to get there, again, because of who Josh Heupel is. So looking forward, the good news for Tennessee is there's a lot of exciting things on the horizon. They've crushed on the recruiting trail. They're going to keep crushing on the recruiting trail. I have no doubts about that. Keep an eye on Tennessee going forward. The house looks great, but that foundation is still being laid. And when it's all said and done, when this house is built up enough, I think there's some good things on the horizon. But zero doubt about it, today hurts and stings if you're a Tennessee fan. Again, our thoughts and prayers with Hendon Hooker, wishing him a speedy recovery, and hoping and praying that injury is not serious. I'm J.D. Piquel. This has been The Hard Count. If you haven't yet subscribed, we'd love to have you along for the ride. Nick Brake doing the real heavy lifting, everything you see here, but you help drive this whole operation. This is your show. We're going to keep the party rolling, and we will see y'all next time. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.